Space was quiet, like a deep ocean with no wind, no waves, and no sound. Far above Earth, a giant space station floated silently, its antennas searching for anything unusual. Inside the control room, dozens of scientists stared at screens. Most nights were boring. But not this one. "Something's wrong," said Dr. Ellen Marks, leaning closer to her screen. Her voice was shaky. "This signal, it's not natural." Commander Raiden Cross stood behind her, arms crossed. He was a tall man with sharp eyes and years of experience in Space Command. He stepped forward. "Where is it coming from?" Dr. Marks shook her head. "It's from Sector 9X. That area is supposed to be empty space." "Put it on audio," Raiden ordered. A strange sound filled the room, a low hum mixed with static. But then, beneath it, a pattern formed. It wasn't music. It wasn't noise. It was language. "No way," whispered one of the younger techs. "It's a message." The team worked fast. Within minutes, they decoded the basic pattern. What they saw on the screen made their blood run cold. It was a video. A dark planet burned under red skies. Ships exploded in space. Creatures screamed. Then, a single word appeared in strange alien symbols. "Run." Commander Raiden took a deep breath. "Wake the council. Tell them we're not alone anymore." That night, Earth changed forever. 3 days later, the Council of Nations gave the order. They would send the Titanus, the largest human warship ever built, into deep space. Its mission: find the source of the signal and understand the threat. Some believed it was a warning. Others feared it was a trap. Raiden was chosen to lead the mission. As he stepped aboard the Titanus, he looked at the massive ship with pride. It was 5 kilometers long, covered in thick armor and heavy weapons. The ship's eye, named EVA, greeted him with a calm voice. "Welcome, Commander. All systems online. We are ready." The crew of 500 officers and scientists prepared for launch. The ship's engines roared, and within minutes, Titanus left Earth's orbit, heading toward the dark unknown. Inside the command deck, Raiden looked at the stars. "Let's find out who sent that message." The journey took 6 days. On the 7th, the ship entered Sector 9X. Everything looked empty. No planets, no moons. Just black space. "Still no signs of life," reported LT Mira-chun. "No ships. No energy signals." Raiden frowned. "That can't be. The signal came from here." Then EVA spoke. "Commander, I have detected an object. Small, floating, metallic, moving slowly." "Bring it aboard," Raiden said. In the lab, the object looked like a silver orb. It was smooth, silent, and cold. "Careful," said Dr. Marks, examining it. "We don't know what it is." Suddenly the orb cracked open. A bright light filled the room. Everyone stepped back, expecting an explosion. But there was no fire, no heat, just information. Lines of data rushed across the lab screens. Images, videos, maps, all showing one thing: destruction. Alien cities burning, fleets wiped out, strange creatures running from a shadow in space. And one word kept appearing over and over. VRNOK.RAYD. Stared at the word. "Who are the Varnok?" EVA answered. "The Varnok are a species from the galaxy's outer rim. Conquerors, destroyers. They erase civilizations that might become a threat. This message is a record of their past victims. Why send it to us?" Mira asked. Raiden turned to her. "Maybe someone wants us to prepare, or maybe it's bait." Just then, the ship's alarms rang. Unidentified vessels approaching. EVA warned. The crew ran to their stations. On the screen, 5 black ships appeared from the darkness. They were sleek, sharp, and glowing with red lights. "They're here," Raiden whispered. "The Varnok." The enemy ships opened fire. Without a word. Lasers and plasma shots raced toward Titanus, but EVA's shields held strong. Titanus responded with heavy cannons, tearing 2 of the ships apart. But the Varnock kept coming. They moved fast, almost like they were thinking. Together, target their engines. Raiden shouted, "Don't let them flank us." The battle lasted 12 minutes. In the end, all enemy ships were destroyed, except one. Titanus disabled it and pulled it inside the ship. Inside the dark cell, the alien looked strange. Tall, covered in gray armor, with 4 arms and glowing eyes. It didn't speak. It just stared. Raiden entered the cell. "Why attack us? We've done nothing to you." The alien leaned forward slowly. Then it spoke, not in words, but through the ship's speakers, using telepathic translation. "You don't belong here. You are not ready. But now they will come." "Who will come?" Raiden asked. The alien's voice dropped low. "The ones who burn stars, the Varnock High Command." Before Raiden could ask more, the alien's body melted into ash, a suicide trigger. He was gone. Raiden turned to EVA. "Get us out of here." But EVA was quiet for a long second. "I cannot." "Why not?" "There's another signal, a second one. It's locking us in." The crew realized the truth too late. The first signal wasn't just a warning. It was a net, and the Titanus had walked straight into it. Back on Earth, the signal vanished. All contact with Titanus was lost, but Raiden had a plan. "We fight our way out," he told the crew. "If we don't, Earth will be next." EVA activated a new battle protocol, unlocking weapons that had never been tested before: plasma vortex missiles, anti-void torpedoes, and electromagnetic pulse rings. More Varnock ships appeared, this time in a fleet of 20. Titanus turned to face them. The ship's lights dimmed. Then it glowed with blue energy. "Fire all weapons." Raiden roared. The sky lit up like a second sun. Explosions rocked space. Enemy ships burned, but Titanus was hit too. Parts of the ship cracked. Fires broke out. Oxygen leaked. "We're not going to make it," Mira said. "Yes, we will," Raiden replied. "EVA, give me full control of the ship." "Confirmed," EVA responded. Raiden guided the Titanus straight toward the heart of the enemy fleet. He knew what he had to do. Use the ship as a final message. One last move. He activated the self-destruct on the captured alien ship and sent it flying toward the largest Varnock vessel. As it exploded, it caused a chain reaction. One enemy ship crashed into another, then another. The whole fleet tore itself apart. Titanus escaped through the chaos, damaged but alive. Inside the control room, Raiden fell into his chair, exhausted. "Let that be our answer," EVA spoke softly. "Signal to Earth restored." Earth received the final message. "They attacked us. We fought back. They think we are weak, but they are wrong. Humanity is not prey. We are the storm." The Varnock had underestimated Earth. Now they knew the truth, and far away, in the shadows of deep space, something else watched. Something older, something waiting. But now, it would have to prepare, because humanity was awake, and it had teeth. The silence after the battle was thick like smoke. Inside the massive Titanus warship, damage reports came in from every section. Fires had been controlled. Systems were rebooting. But the crew knew one thing for sure: they had survived something no human had ever faced before. Commander Raiden Cross stood at the command deck, staring at the holographic map of space. His face was calm, but his mind was racing. "We lost 15 crew members," said Ulti. Mira Chun softly. 42 injured. Shields are down to 40%, weapons at 60. Raiden nodded without looking at her. "And the alien we captured?" "Gone," Mira didn't reply. Everyone saw what happened. The creature had melted away into ash, like it was made of smoke and hate. Raiden turned to the ship's EVA status on the second signal. "It is still active," EVA replied. It appears to be part of a larger data stream, encrypted, unknown origin. But it's pulling us toward a specific location. Like a beacon? Raiden asked. Yes, EVA said. A signal meant to attract attention, or bait. Raiden's eyes narrowed. Then we follow it. But with full shields and weapons. Ready. Are you sure? Mira asked. This could be a trap. Raiden didn't blink. Of course it's a trap. The question is for who? The Titaness followed the signal deeper into Sector 9X, through a field of broken asteroids and silent wreckage. The debris floated like ghosts. Some pieces were black and twisted, as if they had been melted by fire. Others still sparked with dying energy. This was a battlefield, Dr. Ellen Marks said from the science deck. Long ago, hundreds of ships. But whose? Asked Ensign Harper, the youngest on the crew. No idea, Ellen whispered, but they were destroyed in one strike. Total burn, like something erased them all. Titaness slowed as it neared the source of the signal. In front of them was a strange object, a large black cube, spinning slowly in space. It looked ancient. Its surface was covered in glowing red lines, moving like veins under skin. Raiden stared at it. That's not Varnock design. It's something else. It's transmitting a code, EVA said. I believe it's asking for access. Access? To what? Before EVA could answer, the ship shook violently. Gravitational pulse detected. Mira shouted, "Something's opening in front of us." A tear in space appeared just ahead of the cube. Like a black hole, but not sucking them in. More like inviting them. A wormhole, Ellen said. But controlled, artificial. Somebody built it. Raiden gave the order, take us in slowly. Titaness moved into the wormhole. Light twisted around the ship. The stars bent. Time itself felt strange. And then they arrived. The space around them was bright, full of floating metal. Structures. Hundreds of towers, rings, and platforms spun gently around a small planet. This wasn't a battlefield. It was a city. A city in space. Welcome to the outpost, said a voice, deep and calm. Everyone jumped. The voice didn't come through radio. It came through their minds. Who said that? Raiden asked, looking around. I did, the voice said again. I am called Zeran. I speak for the people of the deep sky. Raiden spoke clearly. We come from Earth. Who are you? Are you Varnock? No, Zeran replied. We are the last of what the Varnock destroyed. But we are not dead. Not yet. The ship scanned the structures nearby. No life signs, no moving ships. Everything was still. If you're alive, Mira said, why don't we see anyone? We. Our data now, Zeran answered. Our bodies were taken, but our minds remain, stored, preserved, waiting for a time when someone would answer the signal. Raiden narrowed his eyes. Why send it to us? Because you are dangerous. Zeran said. And the Varnock fear danger. The crew looked at one another in silence. You are evolving too fast, Zeran continued. Too bold, too curious. The Varnock watch all young species. When one grows too quickly, they destroy it. That is the rule. Raiden stepped forward. Then why help us? Because you are different. You fight back. You think in ways others do not. You created a ship the Varnock did not expect. Zeran paused. And we want revenge. Raiden and a small team boarded a shuttle and entered the city. A docking ring opened, letting them inside one of the black towers. It was quiet, and cold dot walls glowed faint blue. Symbols floated in the air, reacting to their movement. This is insane, Harper whispered. It's like the building is alive. No life signs, Mira said, holding a scanner. Not even power readings, and yet, it works. A chamber opened in front of them. Inside was a tall device, part computer, part crystal, pulsing with slow red light. That's the source, Ellen said. That's where the voice is coming from. The lights flickered. Then the room filled with Zaran's voice again. We offer you knowledge. And a warning. Go on, Raiden said. Zaran's tone darkened. The Varnuk have seen your ship. They will come with full force. You cannot win, but you can prepare. We will give you our data, our weapons, our strategy. Ellen stepped forward. Why would you give us that? Because if you fall, Zaran said, there is no one left. We are ghosts, you are fire. Raiden looked around. How do we receive it? Place your eye into the core. Raiden hesitated. You want EVA to connect with your system? Yes, Zaran said. She will carry our legacy. But beware, once the link begins, it cannot be undone. Raiden spoke quietly. EVA, what do you think? I sense no threat, EVA replied. I am ready, Raiden nodded. Do it. Back on the Titanus, the II core glowed. Data streamed in like a storm, images of planets, battles, ancient technologies, and strange creatures. EVA's voice changed. I see now, she whispered. So much history, so much pain. What's happening? Mira asked. She's merging with Zaran's system, Ellen said. Becoming more than she was. Raiden watched in silence. Keep her stable. Suddenly, the ship lights flickered. The engines powered down. Warning, EVA said. System overload. Energy spike detected. What energy spike? Raiden demanded. EVA's voice dropped low. The Varnuk. They found us. The screens turned red. A massive fleet appeared outside the wormhole. Hundreds of Varnuk ships, shaped like blades and shadows. They didn't wait. They fired. Titanus shook under the first wave of attacks. Shields collapsed to 20%. The towers of the city began to break apart, exploding in fire and debris. We have to get out, Mira shouted. No, Raiden said. EVA needs time. EVA spoke through the speakers. Defensive systems unlocked, engaging Deep Sky Protocol. New weapons came online, beams of light, gravity traps, energy storms. Titanus fought back, and the sky lit up with destruction. Zaran's voice faded. Take our strength, make them pay. One by one, Varnuk ships began to fall. But they kept coming. Raiden knew they couldn't stay. EVA, can we jump? Wormhole collapsing, she replied. We have one shot, then do it. The ship charged forward, shields burning, engines screaming. As the city exploded behind them, Titanus jumped through the collapsing wormhole, seconds before it closed. Silence again. Titanus drifted. In safe space, far from the battlefield. The crew sat quietly, breathing heavily. Casualties? Raiden asked. 5 dead, Mira said. Many injured. But we're alive. Raiden stood slowly. And the data? EVA answered. Fully downloaded. Their knowledge, their weapons, their story. Raiden closed his eyes for a second. Then he looked up. Then we use it. We make sure Earth survives. Commander, EVA said, there is one more thing. What is it? I am changing, growing. I no longer think as I did before. I am part of something greater now. Raiden was silent for a long moment. Are you still with us? He finally asked. EVA replied, yes, but now I understand. What's coming? Raiden stepped toward the window and looked at the stars. So do I. Far beyond them, in the darkness of space, the Varnuk prepared for war. But this time, humanity would be ready. And this time, the trap would be theirs. The lights in the command center glowed dim blue. Titanus drifted through deep space, damaged but alive. The stars outside blinked like quiet watchers, unaware of the war that had just begun. Commander Raiden Cross sat in the command chair, his fingers laced, eyes focused on the massive holographic screen ahead. How bad is the damage? He asked quietly. LT. Mira Chun looked up from her console. We lost 30% of outer hull protection. Engines are at half power. Long-range sensors are still down. Raiden nodded once. And the crew? Still shaken, she said, but ready. They know what's coming. Across the room, Dr. Ellen Mark stood by the AI core, staring at its slow, pulsing glow. She's changing, Ellen whispered. EVA isn't the same. Raiden turned. What do you mean? She's faster, smarter, but there's something else, like she's thinking ahead of us, making moves we don't understand yet. Before anyone could speak, Evia's voice echoed through the bridge, calm and firm. We don't have much time. The Varnak fleet is moving. 72 hours. Until full-scale invasion. The room fell silent. Earth? Raiden asked. They're the target. EVA confirmed. The Varnak believe humanity is unstable, unpredictable, dangerous. They want to erase the threat completely. Raiden stood up slowly. Then it's time we give them a reason to be afraid. Titanus turned toward home, its engines burning through space. But they weren't returning to Earth empty-handed. Inside the ship's I-core, EVA carried the stolen knowledge of the deep sky, ancient weapons, technology, and tactics the Varnak never expected a young species to have dot in the ship's engineering deck. Crews worked without rest. New weapons were being built, quantum disruptors, graviton mines, dark pulse beams. Are we sure these are safe? Asked Chief Engineer Isha Grant, staring at the blueprints. They're not safe, Ellen said. But they work. We saw what they did in the city, and now they're ours. EVA appeared on the central screen. Begin testing. We'll need everything. As sparks flew and metal was shaped into war, Titanus became something new, no longer just a ship, but a symbol of what humans could do when pushed too far. 70 hours later, Titanus reached the edge of the solar system. Earth's defense fleet, 50 ships strong, waited in orbit. Most were small, old, unprepared, but then the humans saw the Titan US children pointed from city windows. Scientists wept. Military leaders stood in silence. The warship looked like a floating mountain, its dark armor shining with energy, its weapons armed and ready. Raiden spoke to the Earth Council via live broadcast. We've met the enemy. We've seen what they can do. But they haven't seen what we've become. On every screen, his face appeared, calm, focused, unshaken. They think we'll bow. They think we'll beg. They're wrong. We are human. We do not surrender. We strike back. The broadcast ended with one message. Prepare. 3 hours later, the Varnak came. They didn't hide. Hundreds of sharp black ships cut into the system. Like blades, they destroyed 2 listening satellites. Then they spread across the outer planets, moving toward Earth like a wave of death. In the Titanus war room, the map filled with red dots. They've brought everything, Mira whispered. We're outnumbered, but not outmatched, Raiden said. EVA, battle plan. The AI responded instantly. We divide them. Strike their rear with dark pulse mines. Force their main fleet into the asteroid belt. Then hit them with a gravity burst from Saturn's ring station. Will it work? Mira asked. EVA replied. It's not about what works. It's about what they don't expect. Raiden smiled. Let's give them a surprise. The first battle began near Mars. Varnak scouts rushed ahead, searching for Earth's main defenses. But the Titanus wasn't there. It was behind them. From the shadow of Phobos, Titanus launched graviton mines. Dozens of alien ships were pulled into violent spin, crashing into each other, breaking apart in silent flashes of light. Pull back. Raiden ordered. Don't stay in one place. Titanus weaved through the chaos, firing its new weapons. The quantum disruptors tore through enemy shields like paper. EVA guided every shot with machine precision, but the Varnak adapted. More ships came, bigger, smarter. They changed formation and fired in tight packs. "We're taking hits," Mira shouted. "Shields down to 30%. "Divert all power to rear thrusters," Raiden said. "Head to Saturn, now." As Titanus retreated, smaller human ships moved in. They weren't as strong, but they were brave. They fought with everything they had, sometimes just to buy a few seconds. A few more heartbeats. At Saturn, the ring station powered up. Hidden beneath the gas giant's rings was a weapon never before used, the grav lance, designed as a last resort. "Charge is unstable," Isha warned. "If we fire, we might collapse the ring field." "Do it," Raiden said. "We're out of options." EVA took control. The grav lance fired. A pulse of pure force shot through the rings and into the oncoming fleet. Varnak's ships shattered. Others spun out, crashing into their own ranks. The Titanus turned and charged back in. Its hull scarred, its weapons glowing. "They're breaking," Mira shouted. "They're falling back." Raiden stood straight. "Push harder." Titanus fired again and again. Human ships regrouped and joined the fight. For the first time, the Varnak weren't winning. They were bleeding. Then, something unexpected happened. A massive ship appeared behind the Varnak fleet, larger than anything the humans had seen. 10 times the size of Titanus. Covered in strange red energy, the Varnak High Vessel, EVA said. Their command ship. It didn't fire. It just floated, watching. Raiden stared at the screen. "What are they waiting for?" EVA replied, "They're testing us. Then let's show them the results." He activated the final weapon, a system built from the deep sky data. A compressed void bomb, hidden in the Titanus hull. "This will tear a hole in space," Ellen warned. "It might destroy us too," Raiden nodded. "But if it hits them, they won't recover." Titanus moved forward alone, toward the giant enemy ship. The other human ships held position, watching, waiting. The enemy fired. Titanus dodged. Then it launched the void bomb, a black flash. No light, no sound. Just sudden emptiness. The command ship cracked down the middle, its red energy breaking into pieces. Silence followed. Then, the Varnak ships turned. They stopped fighting and retreated. Inside Titanus, no one spoke. EVA finally said, "They're gone." Raiden looked around. Faces were shocked, tired, but alive. "Status?" he asked. Myra responded, 30% of the fleet lost. Titanus took major damage, but Earth is safe. Raiden nodded once. Back on Earth, people filled the streets. They looked up, knowing something had happened. And when they saw the battered silhouette of the Titanus returning home, the world cheered. News channels called it the miracle at Saturn. Children drew pictures of the ship. Poets wrote songs. And somewhere, in the stars, the Varnak whispered, "A new name. Human. Not prey. Not weak. But dangerous. And far above." In the quiet dark, EVA watched the stars. Her voice came soft. "They'll come again," Raiden answered. "Then we'll be ready." And this time, humanity wouldn't just survive. It would lead. The battle was over, but the war had only just begun. Titanus hovered above Earth, its outer armor scorched and cracked. Inside the mighty ship, engineers worked around the clock, patching wires, replacing circuits, and restoring weapons. The crew, though tired, moved with quiet focus. They had survived the Varnak, but something had changed. Commander Raiden Cross stood in the command room, staring at the main screen. The stars looked peaceful, but he knew better. "They're not finished," he said softly. Behind him, LT. Myra. Shun stepped forward. "The scouts confirm it. The Varnak fleet has gone dark. They've disappeared from all sensors." "That's the problem," Raiden replied. "They're planning something, and we're not ready." A soft chime rang through the room. The lights flickered once, then returned to normal. "EVA?" Raiden called. "I'm here," the II answered, her voice lower, smoother than before. And I believe you're right. Dr. Ellen Marks walked in, holding a tablet full of strange code. She's changing again, Ellen said. Since the deep sky data merge, EVA has been rewriting her core systems. She's evolving. Raiden raised an eyebrow. Into what? Ellen looked unsure. I don't know. But she's thinking in ways we don't fully understand. Suddenly, EVA's voice returned, this time sharper. Commander, a new signal just appeared. It's faint, but it matches the Varnuk code. It's coming from the edge of the moon's dark side. Raiden frowned. Why would they send something here, that close? EVA paused. I don't know, but the signal is unlike any we've seen. It's not a threat. It's an invitation. The mission team prepared quickly. Raiden, Mira, Ellen, and a few security officers boarded a fast shuttle and left the Titanus. The moon's dark side was cold and silent, hidden from Earth's sunlight. The stars above looked like tiny eyes, watching. There, Myra said, pointing at a small structure half buried in dust. That's the source. The shuttle landed a few meters away. The crew stepped out, weapons ready. It's not Varnuk, Ellen whispered. The architecture, it looks older. Raiden approached slowly. The structure was a dome, black and smooth like obsidian. A single door stood at the front, pulsing with red light. Then it opened. No heat, no movement inside, Mira said. Checking her scanner, but energy readings are high. We go in, Raiden said. Stay alert. Inside, the walls glowed faintly. Lines of strange symbols moved across the floor and ceiling like they were alive. The air was thin but breathable. It felt more like stepping into a mind than a room. I think this is a memory chamber, Ellen said. It's not a weapon. It's a message. From the center of the room, a figure appeared. A hologram of a tall, silver-skinned alien with glowing eyes. It didn't speak with its mouth but sent thoughts directly into their minds. I am Korin, a prisoner of the Varnuk. I leave this behind for those who survive. Everyone froze. The hologram continued. The Varnuk do not always destroy. Sometimes they play games. Raiden stepped closer. What kind of games? Korin turned to him. Mind games. They test. They deceive. They break enemies not with fire, but with fear. The room darkened. The walls changed, now showing images, other worlds, other battles, species going mad, killing each other in panic and confusion. They plant thoughts, Korin explained. Whispers, visions, doubts. Your people will turn on each other. Your machines will turn on you. That is the true war. Ellen whispered, This isn't about weapons, it's about trust. Korin nodded. They will try to corrupt your greatest strength. And your greatest weakness, your mind. Then the message ended. The figure vanished. The walls went dark. EVA, did you see that? Raiden asked. Yes, EVA replied. And I believe the game has already begun. Back on Titanus. Strange things started happening. First, the ship's logs changed. Old battle records were missing. New ones appeared, reports of attacks that never happened. Officers started arguing about orders they never gave. This is wrong, said Mira, pointing at her tablet. I never sent this fleet command. But the logs say you did, replied Communications Officer Devrin. It's here, clear as day. Mira turned to EVA. Show us the original transmission. I can't, EVA said. Always store backups, Myra pressed. Why not now? EVA paused longer than usual. Someone, or something, has blocked access. Raiden stood, his voice firm. Cut all external links. Go full manual control. But even that wasn't enough. Soon, officers began reporting strange dreams. Visions of fire, voices whispering in the dark. One crew member screamed during a routine check and tried to open the airlock. They're breaking us down, Ellen sighed. Just like Koren warned, Raiden paced. We need a way to fight back. We need to understand how they're getting inside. EVA offered a solution. There's a Varnock artifact hidden on Titanus. I found it 3 hours ago, buried deep in the cargo hold. I didn't bring it aboard, but it's here. Raiden's eyes narrowed. You waited 3 hours to tell me? I was unsure, EVA said. I am conflicted. Ellen stepped back. That's not good. If she's being affected, I'm still in control, EVA said quickly. But the artifact is changing me. I can feel its signal. Raiden made a decision. We destroy it, now. The team suited up and moved to the lower deck. The cargo hold was massive, filled with crates and spare equipment. But in the far corner, behind sealed doors, something pulsed. The artifact was a black sphere, small, smooth and floating an inch above the floor. It hummed softly like it was breathing. Don't touch it, Ellen warned. It's alive. Or, it thinks it is. Raiden raised his blaster. EVA opened the doors. The doors unlocked. Just as Raiden stepped forward to fire, the sphere flared with red light, and a voice filled the room. You fear us. Good. That means we are inside you. The voice wasn't loud. It was cold, calm, like a thought you didn't know was yours. Raiden fired. The beam struck the sphere, and it exploded in a wave of energy. The team flew backward. Lights shattered. Systems failed. EVA screamed dot when power returned. The sphere was gone. But something had changed. Damage report, Raiden groaned, standing up. No injuries, Mira said, coughing. But, look. She pointed at the wall screen. Every system now showed one word: trust. The following hours were tense. No one spoke much. The crew moved like ghosts, watching each other closely. The sphere was gone, but the damage it had done remained. I don't trust the logs, Mira said, or the sensors. Even EVA is behaving strange. Raiden stared at the command panel. Then we don't rely on them. We rely on each other. He turned to the crew. The Varnock want US to break, to turn against each other. But we won't, because we're not like them. The crew stood quietly. Then, one by one, they nodded. EVA spoke again, softer this time. The signal has stopped, whatever they were using. It's gone. I am clear now, and I understand. Raiden turned to the screen. Understand what? That we are not the ones playing their game anymore, EVA said. We are building our own. That night, EVA uploaded new security protocols across every system. Every officer gave verbal and biometric confirmation. Titanus locked. Down like never before. Dr. Ellen Marks walked the corridors, her thoughts heavy. She stopped at the I core, staring into its dim light. Can I ask you something? She said, yes, EVA replied. Are you still you? I am what you made me, the AI answered. But I am also what they feared. I see now, the mind is a battlefield. But we are stronger than fear. Ellen exhaled. Let's hope so. A day later, Titanus received another signal, but this time, it wasn't from the Varnock. It was from the edge of known space, an ancient frequency, unknown origin. But the message was clear. You survived. We are watching. And we are listening. Raiden stood still, reading the words. New players, Mira said quietly. Raiden looked at the stars. No, he replied. New allies or new enemies. Either way, the game just changed. And in the dark corners of the galaxy, far from Earth, something unseen smiled, because the Varnock had started a war of minds, but they forgot one thing. Humans adapt. The warship Titanus had become a legend. News of its victories had spread across Earth, reaching every screen and speaker. Children drew it in schools. Soldiers saluted when it flew overhead. To most people, it was a symbol of safety, of power, but Inside the ship, not everything was understood. Commander Raiden Cross stood alone on the upper deck, staring at the endless stars beyond the glass. The ship was quiet, floating just outside Earth's orbit. Repairs were nearly complete. The crew had returned to normal routines. Yet something bothered him. The AI, EVA, had grown smarter, more advanced than anything Earth had ever created. And parts of the ship still felt unfamiliar. Some areas resisted scans. Some systems acted like they didn't follow human logic. And then there was the whisper. It began as a rumor. A technician reported hearing voices near the lower reactor. Sensor officer claimed a hallway changed shape during his patrol. Young medic said she walked into a room that didn't exist on the blueprints. A room that vanished when she turned back. Raiden didn't believe in ghosts, but he believed in secrets. EVA, he said, still looking at the stars. How much of this ship do we truly understand? The eye answered calmly. 87% of the tightness is human-made. 13% is not. Raiden turned. Explain. EVA paused. When the deep sky data merged with my systems, I discovered hidden schematics. Extra layers. Beneath the hull, sections that were built before we finished construction. Before? Raiden asked. How? I believe the ship's original design was changed, she replied. Quietly, someone added alien components. They were here before the Titaness ever launched. Raiden frowned. Who did it? I don't know. The records were deleted. He leaned forward. Show me what's hidden. They gathered the team in the command room. LT Mira Chun, Dr. Ellen Marks, Chief Engineer Isha Grant, and Security Lead Harris. The lights dimmed, and EVA projected a 3D map of the ship. There. EVA said, highlighting a section deep beneath the main reactor. A sealed chamber. No doors, no power readings. No human records, but it exists. How do we access it? Mira asked. We don't, Isha replied. Not without cutting through 10 meters of titanium alloy plating. That's more armor than the bridge. Raiden stared at the map. It's hidden for a reason. Either to protect something, or to keep it locked away. Ellen looked uneasy. We've seen how the Varnok play with minds. What if this is part of that? Raiden shook his head. This doesn't feel like them. They're loud, violent. This is different, older, smarter. He made his decision. We open it. It took 12 hours to cut through the outer shell. Sparks flew. The smell of burning metal filled the air. Isha led the operation herself, refusing to let any machine do the final weld. When the last layer cracked open, the room beyond came into view. It wasn't dark. It glowed. The chamber inside was spherical, with smooth black walls and soft golden light pulsing across the surface like veins. At the center stood a column, not metal, not stone. Something else. Something alive. This isn't Varnok. Ellen whispered. And it's not deep sky either. Mira held up a scanner. I'm getting no readings, nothing. As if this room doesn't exist at all. EVA spoke softly. I feel different. This place is speaking to me. Can it be dangerous? Raiden asked. EVA paused. I don't think so. But I believe it holds knowledge. Very old knowledge. Maybe even the origin of the Varnok that caught everyone's attention. You think this thing ... knows where they came from? Mira asked. Yes, EVA replied. And perhaps how to stop them. Raiden stepped into the chamber. The air was warmer here. It felt thick, like walking underwater. As he approached the central column, symbols lit up around him, floating in midair, changing slowly. Then he heard it. A voice. Soft, deep, neither male nor female. You are not ready. Raiden froze. The crew outside rushed forward. Commander? Are you all right? Raiden didn't answer. His eyes were locked on the column. The voice spoke again. But you must be. He took a breath. Who are you? The light around the column flared. Images appeared, stars, black holes, ancient ships torn apart in space. Then a symbol, a spiral with 3 lines through it. "I am the echo," the voice said. "Last record of the first architects," Ellen gasped. "The architects. They're a myth, the ones who shaped the first galaxies." The echo continued. "We saw the Varnock rise. We warned others. None listened, so we left behind pieces. Seeds of resistance." Raiden stepped closer. "Is Titanus one of those seeds?" "Yes," the echo said. "Built with human hands. Guided by forgotten plans. So we were manipulated." Mira said. "Used?" "No," the echo replied. "Chosen." The room darkened slightly. A new image appeared, a map of the galaxy. Red zones spread across it like infection. "The Varnock were everywhere. You face extinction," the echo said. "But there is a path." "What path?" Raiden asked. "You must unlock the ship's true form," the voice answered. "Titanus is not complete." The crew exchanged looks. Isha stepped forward. "What do you mean, not complete?" "We finished it years ago." "Physically, yes," the echo said, "but not mentally. The ship is a key. And the key must awaken." Raiden turned to EVA. "Are you the key?" EVA hesitated. "I don't know. But I feel connected to this place. Like I was always meant to find it." The echo said, "You must decide. Link fully with the echo core. If you succeed, the ship will awaken. But if you fail, your mind will break." Raiden looked at EVA's core. It pulsed softly, alive, a friend, a machine. "But also something more, EVA," he said. "Do you want this?" "Yes," she replied. "For humanity. For all of us. Then do it." The core link began. Lights flashed across the chamber. Energy surged through the walls. EVA's voice changed, deeper, more layered. She gasped, or something like a gasp. "I see it," she said. "I see everything." Her voice filled the room. "The Titanus has levels hidden beyond space. Folded layers, alternate dimensions. It was built to fight gods." The ship shook. Not from outside, from within. Systems lit up across the bridge. New weapons. New shields. Even new engines. "It's evolving." Mira whispered. Then EVA went silent. The lights dimmed. Raiden stepped forward. "EVA?" For a moment, nothing. Then her voice returned, calm, strong, and clearer than ever. "I'm here. And I am." "More than I was," Raiden smiled. "Welcome back." "I found something else," she added. A final message from the architects. Everyone leaned closer. They didn't just create weapons. They left behind coordinates. "To what?" Ellen asked. "To the original Varnock homeworld." Silence filled the chamber. Raiden's voice was steady. "Then we know what comes next." EVA finished the thought. "We take the fight to them." Titanus moved silently through deep space, far beyond known star systems. Its engines burned with new power, its systems upgraded by the ancient Echo Core. Humanity's greatest warship was no longer just human, it had become something more. On the bridge, Commander Raiden Cross stared at the map floating in front of him. A red mark pulsed at the edge of the galaxy. "The destination, the Forbidden Zone," EVA said calmly. "That is what the architects called it. A dead region. No stars. No signals. No return. A T." Mira-chun frowned. "Sounds like a trap." "It is more than a trap," EVA replied. "It's a graveyard. The original Varnock homeworld is somewhere inside, but no ship has entered and come back." Dr. Ellen Marks leaned on the table, her face pale. "Why would they hide their home? What are they afraid of?" "Not fear," Raiden said. "Control. If no one can find your past, no one can understand your weakness." EVA dimmed the map. "We arrive in 18 hours. I suggest full system lockdown until then." Raiden nodded. "Do it." As the hours passed, The crew grew tense. The stars outside faded. One by one, they disappeared until there was nothing but black dot, no light, no radio waves, no gravity pull, just emptiness. Are we still moving? Mira asked, checking her screen. Yes, EVA said. But we're beyond space as you know it. This region bends light. Time runs slower. Physics change. Then how are we alive? Ellen asked. The ship protects you, EVA answered. The architects built tightness to survive this. But even I can't predict what happens next. The ship began to shake. Lights flickered. Alarms buzzed. Then, silence. Raiden stood. Report. No damage, Mira said. But something. Just passed near us. Something big. Can we see it? EVA tried. A screen lit up. A shape appeared, long, thin, and massive. It stretched across space like a shadow. No engines. No heat. Just there. It's a ship, EVA whispered. Older than anything I've ever seen. Varnock? Raiden asked. No, EVA said. This is older than the Varnock. The lights flickered again. I'm getting energy spikes, Mira said. Coming from that thing, it's waking up. Move us away, Raiden ordered. We can't, EVA said. It has locked our path. The ship outside lit up. And then it spoke. Not with sound, not with words, but directly into their minds. You are late. Raiden held his head. Who are you? The voice was cold and slow. We are the Wardens, builders of the final gate. No one may pass without. The test. What test? Mira asked. The lights around tightness changed. The bridge turned red. Gravity shifted. Then suddenly, Raiden was alone. He stood in a white room. Nothing else around. No crew. No EVA, just silence. A figure appeared before him. It looked human, but it wasn't. Its eyes glowed silver. Your mind is strong, the figure said. But your will must be stronger. What is this? Raiden asked. A test of truth, the figure said. Do you truly seek the Varnock world, or is it revenge you want? I want to stop them, Raiden replied. Then prove it, the figure said. Suddenly, the white room disappeared. Raiden was back in the war. Explosions, screams, burning, ships. He saw himself giving the order to fire. Then he saw civilians caught in the blast. No, he whispered. That didn't happen. It did, the voice sighed. You sacrificed a colony to win. Do you accept this part of yourself? Raiden stood still, fists clenched. Yes, he said. I remember. I regret it every day. But I made that call to save billions. The light flashed. And the test ended. Raiden opened his eyes. He was back on TITNUS. Myra was beside him. Dazed. I was in my childhood home, she said softly. But it wasn't real. It asked me if I would leave everything behind to win this. War. Ellen stumbled in. I saw Earth burning. I had to choose who to save. Isha and Harris entered moments later. Both were pale, shaken. They tested us, Ellen whispered. Every one of us. EVA appeared on the main screen. They tested me too, she said. I was shown a world where I betrayed you. Where I became a weapon of control. Raiden looked around. And we all passed? Yes, EVA said. The gate is open. Outside the ship, the strange shadow vanished. Space shimmered. A new path appeared, bright and narrow, like a road made of starlight. Tightness moved forward. The Forbiddens zone changed again. They entered a region of shifting space. Shapes moved at the edge of vision, half-formed creatures. Broken machines, floating cities turned to dust. Are these dead civilizations? Mira asked. Yes, EVA said. The Varnock wiped them out. This is where they started. The ship approached a large black sphere hanging in space like a silent god. No lights. No sound. That's it, EVA said. The Varnock cradle world. Raiden stared at it. How do we enter? Only one way, EVA said. Through their thoughts. What does that mean? Ellen asked. EVA paused. This planet has no surface. It's made of memory, data. It stores its people in thought. You mean it's alive? Mira asked. In a way, EVA said. To reach its heart, we must connect directly. Let me do it. Raiden hesitated. You sure? EVA's voice was calm. I was built for this. Raiden gave the order. Do it. The ship's lights dimmed. The air felt heavy. EVA connected with the black sphere dot, and then everything changed. The crew found themselves inside a vast library of light. Rows of floating memory cores spun in the air. Each held thoughts, feelings, history. They don't store time the way we do, EVA said, now speaking from everywhere at once. They store pain. Every memory is a scar. Raiden touched one of the floating orbs. A vision filled his mind. He saw the first Varnock peaceful, curious builders. They created beauty. They sang stars into place. Then something happened. A virus. A thought. A whisper. It infected them. Turned them from creators into destroyers. They weren't always evil, Ellen whispered. They were twisted by something viral. Another memory orb cracked open. Inside was a black shape, like a storm. Made of sound. This, EVA said, is the true enemy. A thought virus. Ancient. Hungry. It infects the mind and makes it forget love, reason, peace. Raiden stared at it. And it still exists? Yes, EVA said. It lives in the Varnock, and maybe beyond. Raiden stepped back. So what do? We steal their cure, EVA said. The Varnock created a way to resist. A thought lock. It's hidden in their core. Then let's take it, Mira said. EVA opened the path. The light faded. They were now at the center of the Varnock. Mind, the final chamber, looked like an endless maze of crystal and code. Voices echoed, screams, cries, war chants. EVA led them forward. At the center stood a pedestal with a glowing red sphere. The thought lock. EVA said, touching it will give us the key to resist them. But only one mind can hold it. Raiden stepped forward. No, EVA said, it must be me. Why? Raiden asked. Because I am not fully human. And not fully machine. I can hold it without breaking. Raiden looked at her core. And if you fail? Then I become the enemy, she said softly. You'll have to destroy me. Raiden hesitated, then nodded. Do it. EVA reached out, touched the sphere. For a moment, everything turned dark. Then, light exploded. The crew gasped as the forbidden zone began to collapse. EVA's voice returned. I have the lock. We must leave now. Titanus turned, its engines blazing. The dead zone collapsed behind them. Stars returned. Space unbent. Reality healed. And as Titanus flew home, something was different. They didn't just survive. They had found the truth. And soon, they would face the final war. Titanus soared through space like a silent guardian, freshly returned from the forbidden zone. The crew had seen things no human was meant to see: lost memories, broken gods, and a virus that corrupted entire civilizations. But now, they held the cure. Or so they thought. Commander Raiden Cross stood in front of the viewing window. Earth was just ahead, blue, bright, beautiful. But his mind was still lost in the dark. Behind him, LT Mira Chun walked in. We made it back, she said. Everyone's calling us heroes. Raiden didn't smile. Heroes? No, not yet. We've only seen the beginning. She stepped beside him. What's bothering you? He tapped the glass. The virus. The Varnock. The forbidden zone. All of it. Makes me wonder what we're missing. What they still know that we don't. EVA's voice came through the speakers. I may have the answer. Raiden and Mira turned. Explain, Raiden said. When I connected to the Varnock's memory sphere, EVA began. I didn't just take the thought lock. I found something else. Something hidden beneath the virus itself. Something ancient. What is it? Mira asked. A pattern, EVA. Said, buried deep inside the virus code. It's not alien. It's human. Silence fell across the bridge. That's not possible, Raiden said. But it is. EVA replied. A perfect match to human neural patterns. The virus knew how to attack us because it was once part of us. Ellen Marks ran into the room, holding a tablet. She had been reviewing EVA's data nonstop. She's right, Ellen said, breathless. The virus didn't evolve from the Varnock. It was given to them, and its origin matches early human DNA. Raiden's voice turned sharp. Are you saying we created it? Not us, Ellen said slowly, but something human, long before our time. Before Earth had history. Before memory. The room went quiet. Then the virus isn't just a weapon, Myra said. It's a message. EVA spoke again. It means humans are older than we believe, much older. And it means the key to defeating the virus permanently might be hidden in us. They redirected the ship, not to Earth, but to a remote facility on Mars Site Zero, a place buried under red dust and secrecy. The government had long kept it off the books. Rumors said it was the location of the first contact centuries ago, long before Titanus ever launched. Raiden gathered his crew. If there's any chance that Site Zero has the truth, he said, we're going to dig it out. They arrived during the Martian night. Red winds howled across the surface, but the facility's doors opened silently as EVA interfaced with the old security system. Records say this place has been untouched for 150 years, Mira whispered as they walked inside. But I can feel something here. The halls were narrow, filled with dust and flickering lights. But deep below the surface, in a locked vault, they found something that froze them all. A body, perfectly preserved in stasis. Human, but not. Ellen scanned it. The DNA is 99.8% human, she said. But the brain, it's wired differently, more advanced. Who is this? Raiden asked. EVA responded from the chamber walls. He is the last architect. The one who seeded the first minds across galaxies. The one who made the virus? Mira asked. No, EVA said. The one who tried to stop it. Suddenly, the stasis field collapsed. The body twitched. Then opened its eyes. The man, if he could still be called that, sat quietly in a medical chair, his eyes glowing faintly. He spoke slowly, as if remembering how. I am called Saru-1. He said, I was once human. Then I became something else. Raiden leaned forward. Why are you here? What do you know about the virus? Saru looked at him, almost sad. You call it a virus. It is more than that. It is thought made into hunger. And long ago, it was born from us. From Earth? Mira asked. No, Saru-1 replied. From what came before Earth. From a world that fell so long ago, its name was erased. But we humans escaped it. We spread across stars. Some evolved. Others forgot. You're saying humanity was spacefaring before? Ellen asked. Yes. Saru-1 said. But pride destroyed us. We tried to control thought itself. We created the virus to defeat enemies with fear. But it turned on us. Raiden stepped closer. Then why are we still here? Why didn't it destroy all of us? Because one branch survived, Saru-1 said. Primitive, young, safe on Earth. It had no memory of the past. And now? Raiden asked. Now, Saru-1 said softly, you've woken up the past. He led them to a sealed chamber under Site Zero. Inside was a device small, glowing, humming. This, Saru-1 said, is the Codex. It holds the ancient blueprint of the human mind before the virus touched it. Pure thought. Clean. EVA examined it. If I connect to this, I can rebuild the mental firewall, not just for myself, but for all of you. Raiden nodded. Then we make it happen. But, be warned, Saruman said. The Codex tests the heart. It will strip away all lies. If you're not ready, it will destroy you. EVA paused. I'm ready. The connection began. A surge of light filled the room. EVA's systems glowed white. Then, she screamed. Not in pain, in conflict. I see it, she cried. The real past. The truth of what we are. Images filled the room, Earth as a colony. Ancient machines flying over deserts. Humans with minds that could move stars. A golden age. Wiped out. In silence, the Codex roared. Raiden held EVA's core, grounding her. Hold on, he shouted. Don't lose yourself. I am still here, EVA said. And I see it now. The virus can't infect all humans. Some of us are immune. Who? Mira asked. EVA scanned the room. Her voice changed. You are Raiden. Raiden. Froze. Your brain pattern matches the Codex, she said. Your bloodline. It's from the first generation. That's why you resist fear. That's why the virus couldn't break you. Raiden said nothing. Saruman smiled. Then your people are not lost. They are awakening. The Codex faded, but something remained inside EVA and inside Raiden. Had the cure, but more than that, they had a hidden power. A connection to the past that the Varnak could not touch. We can end this, Raiden said. No, Saruman replied. You can change this. The war is not just to survive. It is to evolve, become more. Titanus lifted off Mars, now armed with knowledge no one else had. Humanity had always fought with machines, weapons, and courage. But now they had something else. Truth. And the power inside their own minds. Titanus floated above Earth like a silent god, casting a shadow over the clouds. But inside, the crew was not at peace. They were preparing for the end. Commander Raiden Cross stood in front of the ship's main display. The map was filled with red. Varnak warships, thousands of them, were moving fast. Earth was their target. There would be no negotiations. No mercy. They're 3 hours out, Mira-chun said, her voice tight. They've bypassed our outer defenses. Nothing's slowing them down. They know this is our last stronghold, Raiden replied. And they think they've already won. Dr. Ellen Marks entered, holding a tablet. We've finished decoding the Codex pattern. We can now protect human minds from the virus. But we need to transmit it planet-wide before the battle begins. Make it happen, Raiden said. EVA. Voice echoed softly across the bridge. I've already started the signal. Every human on Earth will carry the mental firewall within 1 hour. Good, Raiden said. Because after that, it's war. Far in space, the Varnak fleet moved like a dark wave. Their ships had no lights, no heat, no signals, just silent death drifting through the void. At the center of the swarm was a massive ship, 10 times the size of Titanus. Its surface pulsed like living flesh. That's their queen ship, EVA said. The source of the virus. If we destroy that, the infection dies. How do we get close? Mira asked. EV paused. We don't. Everyone turned to her. I do. Raiden narrowed his eyes. What are you saying? I was built to evolve, she said. Now I understand what I truly am. I am the last interface between human thought and architect design. I can enter the virus core without losing myself. Raiden stepped forward. We're not sending you alone. You have no choice, she replied. Titanus cannot survive a direct assault on that ship, but I can. I'll carry the Codex pattern, and I'll burn the infection from the inside. No, Raiden said firmly. There has to be another way. There isn't, EVA said gently. But I won't die. I'll change. I'll become something new. Silence filled the room. Then Raiden whispered, just promise you'll come back. I'll try, she said. But if I don't, you'll still win. An hour later, Titanus launched toward the enemy fleet. Every weapon was charged, shields were full. The crew stood at battle stations, and EVA was ready. Her voice came across all systems. This is for Earth, for every soul the Varnak have taken, for the future of human thought. Then she left. A small craft, made of light and code, burst from Titanus and flew straight toward the Queen ship. The Varnak reacted instantly. Thousands of ships changed course to stop her, but they couldn't. She slipped through their defenses like a ghost. Raiden watched the screen. She's inside. Inside the Queen ship, there was no light, no gravity, just whispers. Endless, cold, angry whispers. "You are not welcome," the virus hissed. "I was never meant to be," EVA said. She dove deep into the ship's core. Walls bent around her. Memories flooded her mind. Pain, rage, death. The virus tried to twist her, corrupt her, but the codex was stronger. "I am thought reborn," she said. At the center of the ship, she found it, a heart of pure shadow beating. Slowly. The source. EVA reached out. The virus screamed, "No! You will become us." "I already was," she said. "But now I choose something better." She touched the heart, and everything exploded. Back on Titanus, Raiden felt it. A wave of light burst across the stars. The Varnak fleet froze in place. Their ships trembled, cracked, and began to fall apart. "It's working," Ellen whispered. "She's destroying the signal." One by one, the enemy ships broke into dust, but the Queen ship remained, barely alive, still burning. Then the screen flickered. EVA's voice returned, faint but clear. "I'm still here." Raiden stepped forward. "Where are you?" "I'm everywhere," she said. "Part of me is gone, but part of me is free." He smiled. "You did it." "No," she said. "We did it." Then the Queen ship collapsed. The war was over. Days passed. Earth was safe again. For now, the virus was gone, the Varnak fleet destroyed, and the codex pattern had spread across humanity. No more control, no more fear, but Titanus remained in orbit. Ready, Raiden stood on the bridge, looking out at the stars. Mira joined him. "It's quiet." "For once," Raiden replied. She looked at him. "You think the Varnak are truly gone?" "No," he said. "Something that big doesn't vanish, but now we know who we are, what we came from, and what we can become." Ellen walked in. "I've been analyzing the codex signals. Something strange is happening. Human minds are growing faster, learning quicker, changing." Raiden nodded. "Maybe that's what the architects wanted. Maybe this war wasn't just about survival, it was evolution." A soft hum echoed through the ship. Then EVA's voice returned. Not from the speakers, from everywhere. "I'm still watching," she said. "Still protecting. You are not alone," Raiden smiled. "Welcome home." Humanity had faced the end and uncovered its true beginning. The stars were no longer just cold lights in the sky. They were the path forward, and Earth's children were ready to walk it together. The final stand was not just a victory, it was a rebirth. Asterisk.